Gloves are off in the GOP race for president, with sights set on the surging new Republican frontrunner.
If you want to put people in jail, let's look at the politicians who created the environment, the politicians who profited from the environment, politicians who profited from the environment.
Newt Gingrich on the defense for taking $1.5 million.
After he left Congress, Freddie Mac paid Gingrich at least $1.6 million.
$1.6 million, some of it just before the housing market collapsed.
We welcome back to the show Congressman Ron Paul, Republican of Texas, and, of course, presidential candidate. First of all, Mr. Paul, welcome. And let me ask you, sir, your web ad criticizing Newt Gingrich has gone completely viral. Completely viral. It's running everywhere. Let me begin with this. What message are you sending in this?
Well, I think the message is it's another politician who, flip-flops around and is on both sides of so many issues. But I think the one issue that I talked about in there, or actually I didn't talk about, other people did the talking, was the issue of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, because you yourself know I've been very much involved in the housing bubble and what was going on, and how I tried to get rid of that line of credit to the Treasury, which was the moral hazard involved and helped build that housing bubble. And then now to think that an individual like Newt has actually gotten a lot of that money. As far as I'm concerned, that's taxpayers' money. I mean, they went into debt. We had to bail them out. They're still going into debt. They're still getting bailed out. So one way or the other, getting $30,000 a month, adding up to over $1 million, I think that's a big issue, and not too many people have been talking about it. When you're coming from the inside and you have expertise and you've had this experience and you get a lot of money for it, and it's coming from the government, that sort of makes me perk up. And I would think it would make the American people perk up on this too, and wonder about this. And I don't know why he should get a pass on it.
Your ad also includes the famous ad with Newt sitting next to Nancy Pelosi talking about climate change. Now, Newt has apologized for that. He said it's the dumbest thing he's ever done. Are you ready to forgive him for that?
Well, I'm a pretty forgiving person. I think that one is probably more capable of me forgiving. But I want to hear an apology to the American people for the money he got out of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. I'll have to be a little bit more cautious before I give him a blanket forgiveness on that one.
All right. Well, let me ask you. The Manchester Union leader, of course, endorsed Newt up in New Hampshire. They called him a true conservative. Do you disagree with that?
Well, when you define words, there's some subjectivity in that, but I think most of us agree that what a conservative is. No, I wouldn't consider him, from my viewpoint, as being a conservative. Of course, I'm more libertarian conservative, and I don't see him as a civil libertarian. He certainly doesn't want to contemplate anything about our military expenditures. So he's a great distance from me, but I wouldn't put him into the category of being conservative. In the Congress we have on the tough votes or the controversial votes where there'll be a conservative group of us. Sometimes it's 20, 30, 40, or 50. No, we wouldn't have ever seen him in that group. And the policies that he endorsed over the years when he was Speaker generally expanded government. I can't recall offhand how much we ever shrunk from government when he was in charge of what kind of bills would come to the floor.